I'm Theo Arewa-Bothma. I'm the main designer and director at Theo Bothma Architects and Design. We mainly focus on high-end residential architecture, interior design and lifestyle creation. We're definitely leaders in the pack when it comes to this. We might be a young and a boutique company, but we're definitely pushing boundaries. We do architecture, we do interior design, and we do lifestyle creation. So for us, a house is not just the architecture, it's not just the interior design, it's not just the furniture. And in TBAD, we believe in collaborating between the three departments. So generally, we would work from one model. If there's anything clashing, the teams would know about it. And we actually just make sure that all the teams always discuss stuff with each other. And I think that's the advantage of working with TBAD. So when a client comes to us, we can actually then give them that peace of mind. Everybody wants something different, especially if you're building your house. Like, it's a showcase. When you bring people over, it has to be wow. Like, people need to be like, wow, left, right, there's different things. We start with aesthetics. We almost push it the other way around, and that's how we break boundaries and like go quite different. We start with the aesthetics. We make sure that that is something wow, something amazing, and then we bring it back to something that's practical. So to make sure that what we do is new, it's innovative, and it actually gives the client something that nobody else has seen. Everything has its own personal stamp on it. Then we also like to try and make sure that we work with the latest products that's available in the market. We also like to travel to Italy, especially Salone, to make sure that we know what's going on, that we're on trend, and just to make sure that we give our clients the best that's out there and world quality. In terms of architecture, there's been quite a bit of movement into free forms, especially parametrics, weird shapes, those type of things that actually pushes us into AI, more computer-generated stuff. I don't think necessarily that's always achievable for residential, because it is quite expensive to do that. But in terms of general architecture, even for residential, there's just a pushback to warmth. People like to feel cozy in their spaces, and I also feel like we do quite modern houses, and I think they'll always be timeless, but we always try and make sure that it's not cold. And I think that's the difference. You can have good architecture, but it still needs to be for your clients. I like this project we're currently in. It was literally the first project that TBAD did 9 years ago. So for me, just seeing that coming together, I think is quite an exciting one. We did a whole brief beforehand. We focused a lot on just the aesthetics firstly, and also functionality of the client, how they would entertain, if they wouldn't entertain, if they had guests over. Like, for instance, one of the things are in the guest bedroom, you'll see we actually used carpets. Generally, we don't do carpets in bedrooms. We do wooden floors like in the other bedrooms, but the full request was, I want carpets there. Purely because of one of his guests that comes over, that's a room that that person would use. And he's like, look, Theo, no negotiation, we want this. It's small things like that. You listen, you bring that in, and then you also get to a design where us as the architects have something we like, and also works with the client's needs and taste. The first concept for this project was to design something that's timeless and elegant, was basically the client's brief. And how we got through to the final product was that we focused on certain materials. Light, so we literally went for a very light palette, a very timeless palette in terms of finishes and colors. And to warm it up, we started bringing in wood. We actually also brought in lighter stones, like the travertine that we've used on the floors. And overall, just using the warmer tones with the lighter colors just made a very timeless and elegant interior design language that I think is quite, you can see it in person. This project's 4 years old already, and it doesn't date. We used quite a lot of synthetic stone. When we started this project, it was a new product or finish. As you can see on the actual kitchen tops, how thin it is. Everything else, from the steps on the staircase, the wall cladding on the walls, the lounge area, the wall cladding there, it's none of it's stone. It's actually synthetic porcelain, but it looks like it. So I must say, on this house, we went a bit crazy, but it came out really nice. Everything was designed in 3D beforehand. So I think that's where AI and these type of things starts making a lot of sense. We've actually been doing this, I know it's a key word now, But I think as architects and interior designers, we've been doing this for the last 10, 15 years, where we do everything in 3D. We could have already done a walkthrough of this project with the client before it was built, so they could see what they're getting. Although I must say a lot of times people still don't understand it until they're in the space. But yeah, it helped a lot. The client could see everything beforehand, the finishes we chose, it was all on renders. So it's a very interactive process. Yeah. We've really gone crazy. We've done some really interesting stuff. We've actually hidden the air cons in such a way that you actually can't see or know where it is. It just seamlessly hides. There's nothing worse for people to have those wall units in houses. I'm like, you're spending millions. Why would you want the wall acne on the wall situation? So for us, I think that ceiling design, how we hid a lot of the functions in there, a lot of the stuff that you generally would see in a house, we've hidden it in there, brought in lighting design. And yeah, I think the ceilings for me is one of the biggest things. Yeah, people underestimate ceilings a lot. In this project, the client came to us and said, look, I already have a kitchen, work around that. So it's always interesting how you get different projects. We have another project where the client said, this is the tile. I want it, I bought it, work around it. So it's small things that I think we pride ourselves in, is to actually work with our clients to get to the final product, and also to make sure, because we're not staying in these houses, our clients are. But we also need to make sure that we guide them to get the perfect product at the end of the day. We design beautiful stuff, but that has to be built. And I think that's where we actually pride ourselves at T-Bed, is that we have a team of people to help us to get to the final product.